it seems like we have. I'm sorry, it's just really hard for me to finish the sentence. It seems like we have a new friend in the progressive ranks. And Coulter is Team Bernie now. Oh, man. That's right, people. You heard me correctly. I said, and Coulter is Team Bernie. You heard it right. And Coulter says, I could vote for Bernie Sanders if he returned to original immigration policy. Conservative columnist Ann Coulter said she could support Senator Bernie Sanders for president if he returned to this old stance on immigration. In an interview with PBS Firing Line host Margaret Hoover, Coulter said that she doesn't care about the rest of the socialist stuff. If Sanders went back to his original pro-blue collar policy. The host asks, what do you think of Bernie Sanders if Bernie Sanders is for getting rid of low-skilled workers to ensure higher wages for Americans? That's not what's causing lower wages for Americans. That would be corporations. If ask the tech bros, tech bros in San Francisco and in San Jose, like basically Silicon Valley, they're getting paid less to do more, and it isn't because a Venezuelan or a Honduran is coming and doing their job better. It's because, well, there are more jobs in tech industry now, and so the people who are getting paid more are no longer getting paid that much, and they're bringing in higher skilled workers and getting paid less, even though these people have college degrees. So we just want to clarify that. But Ann Coulter says, and protecting the border. If he went back to his original position, which I'm not really sure what that position was, they don't really clarify, which is a pro blue collar position. I mean, it would totally make sense with him. If he went back to that position, I'd vote for him. I might work for him. I don't care about the rest of the socialist stuff. Just can we do something for ordinary Americans? Who burns? Give me a second. I see your super chat. Moth loading up. Oh, here we go. Who burns? Thanks for the super chat. Did you see where some booty bros literally accused Mike Figueredo of being a homophobe for criticizing Buttigieg? Yeah, I heard that. I was laughing about that or yesterday. Or day before yesterday. But yeah. So Ann Coulter wants to be Team Bernie. I think that means that the progressives are winning. At the end of the day, people for some reason believe that progressivism means that you are strictly a leftist. But progressivism is doing exactly what Ann Coulter suggests. Finally doing something to progress the lives of ordinary Americans. Right? And that's what Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard represents. Do you really find it? Do we find it that fascinating? Is it that inconceivable that Ann Coulter would vote for Bernie Sanders when we know that a lot of Trump's voters said, well, my only two options were Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders? Republicans were saying this. My only two options are Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. So it's not that far-fetched to believe that Ann Coulter supports Bernie Sanders. She's like, well, he's genuine. He wants to raise wages and he wants to give everybody health care. What's not to like about that? There's nothing socialist about that. That's run-of-the-mill. You know what that is in the UK? I'm dead serious. You know what? Not even necessarily only in the UK. Do you know what that is? Basically, all of Western Europe. Those are centrist policies. Medicare for all, a living wage. Those are centrist policies. That isn't paying a mother like in the UK, or at least in England. They pay mothers like $2,000 to $3,000, the equivalent of $2,000 to $3,000 a month for a mom to stay at home and take care of her child for the developmental years of the child's life. Like, if you want to talk about left, that is left. Giving someone basic health care, basic living wages. These are basic policies. Human rights issues. There's nothing crazy about that. Now, I do want to clarify one thing. And you can't say things like, can we do something for ordinary Americans? And when you say that in the context of immigration, it makes it sound like you're saying that immigrants aren't ordinary Americans, when once again, immigrants are the face of America. It's what we're made of. So it's partially the reason for our economic success. It's partially the reason why our industries, our entertainment industries, and our just the service industries are so successful, because people bring their unique skills, their unique trades, and their unique networks into the States, and they provide for our economy. I understand the necessity to do things the right way, but then Ann should say, well, these people should be coming in the right way. And I do agree with Bernie Sanders' comprehensive immigration reform, which would make it so that it's easier to become a United States citizen, and it isn't so convoluted. But you can't say things like, I want to, we got to do things for the ordinary American. That's not cool. I don't like that. But overall, hey, and look, if you want to come to the squad, if you want to come to the progressive team, there are openings. You got to start as a janitor, though. You can't just jump up to the ranks of Bernie and Tulsi. You got to work your way up the totem pole. You ain't just about to get no job in the Bernie Sanders administration. There's a long line of people who've been putting a lot of work for literally decades, that would get a job before Ann Coulter gets a job in the Bernie administration. But we can get you a job as a canvasser on a local municipal campaign, progressive campaign, but you can't get a job just quite yet with the big leagues. You got to put a little bit more work than the CBS interview. But hey, what that just lets you know is that, once again, progressive policies are a lot more popular with all ideologies: left, right, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party. Common sense is common sense. Thanks for watching that segment of Mika Says Sukasa. Don't forget to join us on Roku and catch our Roku exclusives. Also, help us reach our goal of 500 patrons on Patreon. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and JustNForm.com. But more than anything else, always remember, find your balance. Peace.